Yes, only two other men sexier than the great Enrique Iglesias, and that is Trevor Byers, yours truly, and Jason Wilkinson. Hello, everybody, and welcome. That's right, I can hear you all out there pumped for this one. It's round number 7 of the SRL Project Cars 2 GT3 Asia Pacific League. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on the live stream, and it is going to go off tonight as the countdown begins, and that gives me a chance to welcome my co-commentator for this evening back once again, Jason Wilkinson. Jace, great to have your company back again for another week.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Exciting Grand Prix here at Zolder. Tricky, bumpy track. It's going to be hard to pass, but it's all about putting pressure on the car in front, so it should be a good race.
No doubt about that, and just recapping last week, V8 man getting the win over Rob Dog and Nige Guns, of course, who had that penalty as well. As you can see, the track layout there, 4.01 kilometres, 10 turns, light cloud. And just speaking of the rules and regulations, we can just go through 7 p.m. race start. That is the local in-game time, and of course 8 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to get underway soon with qualifying, and indeed we do, as we wait for that camera to focus in, as we can see the cars, they're still in the garages yet to come out on the circuit, and that'll give us a chance to quickly run through the championship standings at the moment. And what a swing we saw last week, Jason, with V8 man. He came in 12 points behind Formula One Rocks last week. Very unfortunate for him, Jace.
Yeah, he was quite upset with that because he was looking pretty good. He was actually looking forward to coming through the field because he'd always been out front. So he actually got down to 4th and was really looking forward to coming through the field. We would have seen what the true speed of Formula One Rocks was at, but unfortunately disconnected on lap 3 along with Latex and Thule. Who unfortunately Thule's not here tonight. But,
no, and
yes.
Well, we mentioned that looking as we see the cars come out on track for the first time, just to get a bit of a feel for the track. The sun's setting over the track here at Zolder, and just completing those championship standings. You mentioned we've got a couple of people missing. Kart Dude is also one of those, Jay. 67 points, Sub GT on 65, 55 points for Nige Guns. Boy, hasn't he come into play in the last 3 rounds. He was the winner a couple of weeks back, of course, in the first of the 2 Japanese races, and he also crossed the finishing line on track first, but of course had that time penalty. Womp getting his best result last week, and Rob Dog as well. Speaking of best results, his first podium of the season. Now, we mentioned this championship. If you want to get involved, there's still time. There's a couple of rounds, or 1 round remaining after this, but time to get pumped for season 2, Jason. If people want to get involved, Latex there getting a little bit out of shape heading into the chicane. Now, if people want to get involved in this exciting, sexy league, how can they go about it, Jace?
Just jump onto www.supremeracingleague.com, follow the prompts to Project Cars 2 leagues, and I'll have a sign-up thread up maybe after round 8 at Bathurst, which should be in 2 weeks' time. We've got a bit of a break with the Grand Prix next weekend, and the weekend after being Easter, so we've got a 2-week break for the drivers, and then into the world-famous Bathurst, Mount Panorama. So yes, we'll announce what cars are doing for season 2 at a later date.
Yep, so fantastic stuff. Like we said, get involved as we see Fubbles out on track in that beautiful-looking Ferrari. I could look at that car all day as the drivers will just be looking to warm up their tyres. You mentioned the famous Bathurst. After we're finished stuffing our faces with chocolate, Jace, and having a sherry or 2, we come back for the famous Bathurst. That is after Easter, like we mentioned, on the 5th of April, 22 laps around that famous track. And so back to Europe again this week. It's a beautiful track, isn't it? And let me tell you, we've crisscrossed the globe. We've been to America. We started off for the American rounds, 3 in fact, and then we moved to Europe and then Japan, a rather soggy Japanese leg of the championship. But back this week, and you've had a bit of experience around this track, Jason. Of course, plenty of history around here. It's a real driver's circuit, isn't it, this one? We've seen Formula One Grand Prix and GT3 cars here. What are some of the more challenging aspects of this track here tonight?
Oh, well, it's a very, very bumpy track, as most of the ones are. With the GT3 cars, the smallest bump can feel like a shopping centre, shopping centre speed hump there, because they're very stiff cars. So, yeah, you can see Fubbles go to the top with 33.2, which is actually pretty good time off the bat. We're probably looking at maybe mid to high 32s for the pole time. But the long corners here also heat up the tyres a bit. That's why we've sort of gone to a twilight session. And if we just jump on board with Formula 1 Rocks, let's see what he's doing. Going a bit wide there. That's another tricky corner. The exit out of going into that corner at the hairpin and the exit, it's very bumpy on both sides. So the ABS can kick in and can almost make you go flying off the track, because, you know, when the ABS isn't working, you're either locking up or it's just not using the brakes at all. So very tricky track, but we'll see. Formula 1 Rocks pops to the top with a 32.9, so he'll be happy with that. He can hope he'll hope he gets a better race this weekend and doesn't get disconnected, as some driver just goes off there.
And we see Rob Dog there as well, Jace. Those times falling very quickly as they get used to the track, used to these conditions. Big hello to everybody out there, like we mentioned tonight.
32.7.
32.7, that's going to be hard to beat. Rob Dog, boy, he set the high water mark early in this qualifying session. Big hello to everybody, as like we say every week on the stream tonight. Nemo saying, I'm here. Mia, the ever-present Mia, never seems to go away, but it is great to have
tortoises.
your company for another week.
We should tell.
Yeah, there's been a bit of conspiracy theory doing the rounds this afternoon leading up to tonight's race. We might fill the spectators in, all in good fun, of course, here on the photo album Womp. Geez, Rob Dog getting
on that, mate.
On two wheels there as he came through the chicane there. So Mia asking where Grunting Tortoise is. Sprint Cars 6 says, good luck everybody. It's great to have
Tully,
great to have your company.
Who's working on his race car for his first title down at up at Queensland at Archerfield Raceway. So good luck to him, Tully. Sure he'll do well.
Good luck to Tully this week. I tell you what, we don't usually like to take excuses, do we, Jace, for why people miss these rounds and these races.
Yeah,
but
that's it.
If you're racing in real life, I guess we can accept that as an excuse.
Yes, and well, you got Andy Holden just joined in, so be prepared for a little bit of a lag spike here, unfortunately. As you see, a V8 man warming up the tyres and brakes. The track's about 28 degrees, so it's quite warm. It'll be at that crossover stage where the hards would work, but it's just a little bit too cool for them, and then with the time going tonight, it's just going to be better to be on soft tyres. So tyres might overheat at the start of the race, but once it cools off and you can get into your own little rhythm, it should be perfect tyres to be on the soft tyres.
So like we said, 13 minutes remaining in this qualifying session here at Zolder, here for the second European race of the SRL GT3 Project Cars 2 season. Just having a look at the qualifying laps early. It's been a pretty sedate session, but drivers just getting into the groove, getting into the swing of things, Jace. Just looking through the times then, Rob, like we said, he comes back into the pits. He set the high watermark early with a 1:32.501 before Formula 1 Rocks with a 1:32.9. And look at that gap. There's barely a whisker in it there for Nige Guns. And Fubbles in fourth, Sub GT 1.2 seconds behind. Hecka Kosh there. Tell you what, they are on the ragged edge, aren't they, Jace, heading through that corner. So Andy, like we said, joining a moment ago, and V8 man, wow, 51. Here he is. He is on the edge, isn't he, Jason? Talk us through the remaining part of this lap.
Well, you can see that chicane, he's backed out of it, unfortunately. Might jump on board with someone else. But you can see that chicane, it's all about, you know, being precision. Very, very, you can't hit too much of the curve on the inside or outside, because it will just, as you've seen, some drivers do, it'll just catapult you, and that pretty much wrecks your lap. So you can see Sub GT is up by 0.4 of a second here. So he's been a bit of a goner the last couple of weeks. With his teammate Nige Guns jumping in, he's sort of gone a bit backwards in the pecking order, so he'll be looking to get back up to the get up to the front guys again, as he's a very quick and very clean driver. So as Ricardo would have seen, and as Ricardo did to Vettel, that young new driver coming on, just shaking up the team, shakes up obviously the driver as well, as he jumps to P4.
So up to P4 then for Sub GT Racer with a 1:33.260. A solid lap, but one would think that he'd like to go quicker than that as Nige Guns comes across the line.
Into the pits. Sorry.
Into the pits, I beg your pardon, yep. Hector Koch it was, who is he up in 6th position? That is pretty good result so far for Hector Koch, and he looks to be on it yet again. So half the qualifying session gone, half still to go, as the great Murray Walker would say. Time to recap the team points, of course. We know it's all about the drivers and the Drivers' Championship, Jace, but we'll just quickly recap the team points. And it's Shake and Bake Racing well ahead. Oh, there's a moment there for Hector Koch, and is that going to cause trouble for the car behind him as we were riding...
HSV?
HSV?
Look like it did.
So,
yep. Doesn't look like he's on the left though.
No, I think he just made...
That was almost perfect through there.
Beautiful.
On a warm-up lap, that's not bad.
Poetry in motion there from our man Dean. And I tell you what, Womp will have his work cut out, because look at the sun breaking through. Speak of the devil, there is our man.
A bit slidey.
And you mentioned the tyre temperatures around here, and the track temperature, as we've had with a lot of races this year, that day-night transition, very difficult to work your tyre temps. And keep all four wheels and tyres pointing in the same direction on the black stuff. He'll just say he's warming up his tyres there, Womp, as we see him have another moment. Here comes V8 Man.
V8 Man's first lap. Yes, it is. Up to P3. Good lap. Very, very close to his teammate. And Rob's actually snuck into a 32.5 as well. I just missed that there, so...
I tell you what, Rob, 132.5. He's keeping the rest of them honest, but look at that. After that, second place, Formula One Rocks, 132.9s, all the way down to Nige Guns in 4th. Nothing splitting them at the moment.
Yes.
Well,
yeah, as you said, it was a driver's track, so it's not really going to be down to the car. So you can show those top 4 are very, well, 2nd to 4th, are very, very close on driver's skill. Rob just always seems to get the most out of the car. In quali, so hopefully he can have a good race and he can finally come away with a win, as he's been proving he could do. And there's a big crash. Oh,
Hecker just getting the rear end out, and he couldn't get it back, unfortunately, heading through that corner. Like we said, a tricky circuit. We've been saying it all night as HSV there. I think there might have been a wheel on the black stuff as he came through the second part of that chicane.
He still kept on with it, so I reckon that was just within the track limits.
Yep, we'll give him that one.
Every inch you can get is, time, so...
Yep, you don't want to leave nothing out there. A real race driver, they say. The real racers don't like to leave anything on the table whatsoever as he comes through.
Exactly right. So you can get his braking point. It's the critical braking point here.
Can he get it right here? This is the corner.
Turn in, a little bit wide. Yeah, just delays you getting on the power. You got to get really tucked into that apex. That's just going to propel you down this straight here.
Turn 8, you need a good exit, that's for sure, as he comes through turn 9, and now coming up to the Jackie X corner, after the named after the famous Belgian F1 driver Jackie X, through turn 10 onto the start finish straight. Then 7 minutes remaining in the qualifying, goes
P8.
up to P8 with a 1:34.3. He flirted we went very close to the pit wall there, trying to take the path of least resistance, or the shortest path to the line. I was talking about the team points.
Say that. Yep, sorry, go.
I was going to say, sorry to interrupt you, Jason. I was just going to say quickly, I'll recap the team points. As I usually do, I started on something else, but Shake and Bake Racing well ahead of Race on Oz Races on 157 points. TJ Ferrari Racing, 53 points.
Both retired.
Both retired. Your mob won't be adding to that tally, I wouldn't have thought. Jade and W Motorsport, 32 points, and Ballistic Racing on 19 points, Jason, as our friend. That's a beautiful looking car, is it? Latex.
He's not French. He's German, isn't he?
He's not French, he's German, and he needs airtime for the sponsors, which is fair enough, yes. But we must apologise. Well, we shouldn't really apologise, should we, Jace? We needed to show people at home the battles on track, the close battles, and that almighty battle between Nige Guns and was it V8 Man or Formula One Rocks? V8 Man, sorry, for the win.
Man, yep.
For the win last week was well and truly worth the price.
Who was that in the background?
Of admission alone.
I don't know if you just missed that.
There was a car there, and now John Jones.
Yeah.
Who was that?
It was Sub GT. Here he is. Here he just had a big moment coming off that fast right-hander. And his teammate's just sitting there behind him, as you can see. Oh, the camera's a little bit dodgy, catching up. There we go. So we go back on board with Latex. Like a hell by Womp here. But you can hear that beautiful Bentley. It's that twin turbo V8. It just sounds amazing. Let's hope Womp gets out of the way, which he does. Yeah, well done. In the grass, but that's right. Any way you can get out of the way is a good way to do it.
Yes,
see, Lucas, he's turned in nice and early. You get on that power. That's a very well done there, Latex. Very good.
Absolutely beautiful looking car, and I've got to say, Jace, I wouldn't be too annoyed if something like that was parked in my driveway at home. I'll take the Honda Jazz for the time being. Very good on the juice.
Any of these cars.
Any one of these cars. That Porsche behind him in the background there doesn't look too bad either. Our man Wampus Latex comes across the line.
No improvement, unfortunately.
No improvement on that lap with a 135.
Look at those big runners are out on track again, so let's see what they can do.
Yep, the big boys are out.
Doesn't look like he's on a lap. He's got his headlight. I don't know if the headlights are on. It's hard to tell. I don't think so. I think it's just the Parkers.
And
if those cars have Parkers.
The messages are coming. Well, I tell you what, the messages are coming through here. Mia, like we said, who just loves...
Rob Dog, my hero.
Rob Dog, let me be your hero. Well,
first
we played
it was Nemo, then it was Cartoon, now it's Rob Dog, Mia.
Well, we're just assuming... We haven't seen Mia comment too much about yours truly and your good self, Jason, but here we go.
Yeah, he's just on that now.
Enough about that. Rob Dog, he's got the lights on and he means business. As he comes through turn one, let's just take you through this track, the Erst curve.
Oh, hello.
Right on
this lap. 131.8.
Well, I tell you what.
0.6 of a second over Rob Dog.
It's a trait we see. What a lap that was, a 131.8. And let's just have a think about that for the time being. Before that, it was a 132, I beg your pardon, 0.5 for Rob. And this is something, Jace, that you see the great drivers able to do, don't you? Oh my goodness!
Maybe that's how you achieve lap time. You don't hit the ground for a bit.
Well, like they say, they used to tell me playing cricket, Jace. They said they used to always have a go at me about slogging the cricket ball, and I always used to just look at the coach and say, "Well, there's more room in the air." But anyway,
I'm sure Glenn Maxwell and Chris Lynn say that as well.
Yeah, you've got to be feeling confident to pull out the reverse sweep maxi. I still think you should be on that test tour over in South Africa. But anyway, that's a story for another day. But Rob Dog, look at that, 6/10 behind.
Yeah, he's dropped off. We might ride aboard Nigel, who's popped up to P3 with a good 32.6 there.
Well, the mid 32 laps were looking good, but then Formula One Rocks now has come out and blown them away now, 6/10 and making that gap look a little bit ordinary as we go right down that order. Formula One Rocks currently blowing them away with a 131.8. Rob Dog in second, Nige, V8 man in fourth. Very interesting for the championship. Sub GT, Fubbles, Righty, HSV. Our New South Welshman friend, 134.3 for him. Hekakosh. As we see the cars getting out of the way, and this is a frantic time, isn't it? Just under 3 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. Is that Bentley going to get out of the way?
Oh, Latex. Damn. Still, he's going to get in the way of Rob as well.
And
come on, mate. Got to get out of the way.
It's difficult for him, isn't it?
This is a bad air time to
get.
Oh,
no, and there's contact. Yep, contact, Jace.
Serves him right. Honestly, you can't just get in the way of someone else. Righty, you got in the way of. Righty, Nige guns. Come on, Latex. It's got to be better than that, mate.
Yep, you can see them lining up, can't you, on the track map on the top right-hand corner of your screen for everybody watching at home. And it's disappointing in a way. We mentioned, I don't know what move over and get out of the way is in German, but there'll be a few people calling him a Dunkoff after that effort, you'd have to say. But anyway, great to have, just kidding, all in good fun. Great to have everybody with us tonight on the stream as well. Comments going crazy. Mia also getting plenty of airtime as, well, was that Formula One Rocks on your screen? What can he do? It comes across the line. Here we go. Does he need to go better?
I think he's just starting the lap. Yeah, he's just starting one now as the lights just flicked on. And maybe he's sort of said, you know what? Let's go straight to the cash that check in. Oh no, it's not there. So the guys don't get a cash check for pole, but straight to the back of the engineer's debrief. Have a quick little drink before the race.
Maybe have a nice shower or something. I tell you what, why wouldn't you? Because he's just come out and said, hello, I'm here, let's go and play. A 131.820. We spoke in the pre-race show, or earlier on in the stream, I should say. I don't think we have a pre-race show, Jason, up here in the commentary box.
Season 2.
Season 2, look out. Don't forget, SupremeRacingLeague.com. There is still time. And boy, we're going to get pumped for Season 2. But it's still Season 1 yet. 2 races left. Like Jason told you, for everyone at home, all the details about Season 2 will be coming in the later weeks and months, getting Easter out of the way and everything else, all the other formalities. Currently watching HSV. What can he do, Jace, with less than a minute to go in qualifying?
Run wide by the looks of it, unfortunately, so that could be his lap already done. Have you seen him slow down? Yeah, that's his lap done. So all it takes is one little bit of off-track excursion and your lap is invalid.
So Andy,
that slide, he hasn't got it. No, he's almost caught it. Well done, Andy.
Well, he almost caught it, but that's the problem at that corner. We've seen that a few times, haven't we? Cars just losing the rear end there. Not a lot of grip on that through turns 1 and 2.
Track, everyone else might be done.
I think everyone else might have put the cue in the rack, Jace, as we count down. Here we go, 6, 5.
Rob Dogg's on.
Counting down to the end of qualifying. Rob Dogg on a lap. What can he do? And I won't bother pronouncing the corner names here, Jace. If you've had a look at a track map,
no.
I think turn 8.
Belgium's no good. Oh, Rob Dogg's done, unfortunately.
That's the
best he's going to be.
Yep.
Let's see if Rock's on the lap. He might be, yes, he is. So he might just rub salt in the wounds and go even quicker.
I reckon he might.
Maybe. Oh, I thought he was going to spin out then. Good save.
So I tell you what, Formula One rocks, boy, has he just announced himself and said he's well and truly, he's not done with yet in this championship. That gap to V8 Man 51 is 13 points, Jace. Oh my
and he's
goodness.
Gone a little bit too hard.
There's another one for the photo album. Formula One rocks won't want to
across the line now. Righty, where did he go? And the timing stuffed up, never mind. I'll get one of my boys, to send a photo of the results in for me, just so we can get the proper results, as it glitches out on us when it's finished. But the good thing is, there's a glitch in the game where if someone's on a lap as the timer's finishing, they can glitch the game. So hopefully we don't get that quality glitch like we did last week.
Well, hopefully we won't have to worry about those bugs and glitches that we so often have to. We had the update dramas last week where nobody, we didn't want anybody to log off, did we? But
no.
so we've just got, geez, I tell you what, these comments, we love them, don't we? Keep sending them in as we take a look at the final qualifying results here for the SRL Project Cars 2 GT3 Belgium Grand Prix. And Formula One rocks, I think we've lost those results, Jace, like we said.
Yeah.
But, oh, there we go, they're back.
Let's see.
They're back on our screen.
Get a... Oh, I don't know if we're going to go...
Well, here we go. We'll just recap these results quickly while they're on our screen. Formula One rocks a 131.820. Streaks ahead of the rest of the field. Rob Dogg also starting on the front row of the grid with a 132.5. Nige Guns in third, continuing his good form this season. V8 Man 51, followed by Sub GT Racer and Fubbles completing the third row of the grid. Righty there in seventh. HSV 8th on the grid. Hecka Kosh in P9.
Actually,
and
it's Andy in P9 that's just glitched out, and then Hecker's in P10.
I tell you what are they? They're just trying to keep us on our toes up here for everyone watching at home in the commentary box. As the results, I tell you what, this reminds me of calling local footy in my younger days. We'd get the wrong names and the wrong numbers, and anyway, enough about that. Big hello to Luke Thomas, who's joined us on the stream. Mrs. Crikey. Alex Adams, my good friend Patch Adams has been good enough to join us on the stream yet again. Mia says, I love you, Kidbyers. I love you, Kidbyers. Well, I reckon she must love everybody. Mia.
That, $20 later. Yep.
Don't forget the donations tab down the bottom there. The button is next to the emoji button. And geez, don't let the wife or the missus see these comments, Mia. Just keep it clean on the stream there. Love you too, Alex. Great to have you with us, and also Robbie Pearson joining us as these qualifying results.
We're gonna have to restart. My bad. Well, not my bad. The game's stuffed up. So we have to do the same thing as last week. Got to make a new lobby, invite everyone in. Unfortunately. So it's probably going to start for you guys now, but you just have to cancel.
Well, I tell you what, I think what we might do for everybody watching at home, and it's a shame too, Jason, we experienced these glitches here on PC too, because we've just ticked over to 10 viewers. That's right, 10 viewers watching the stream. This might be another chance to play our theme song maybe while we just go for a short commercial break and try and get everybody back in. But stick with us, keep the faith, everybody out there watching at home. Maybe now is a good time to go off, wander off, maybe make a cup of tea, grab some popcorn. Because we have got one hell of a race coming up here tonight once we get everybody back in. 20-lap race, following the 20-minute qualifying session you just witnessed. And fuel and tyre wear on for anyone who doesn't know the rules. It's, first of all, welcome to this league and great to have your company with us yet again. Weather, light cloud for quali and race. And I think we're just going to wait, aren't we, Jason, for everybody to get back into...
Yeah, I'm just setting it up now. See, what the thing is, we just had Cart Dude, who's good enough to message me. He reckons it's a glitch when someone finishes their lap after a session's finished. So, if Righty was the only one that actually did it, it's not his fault. Like, you know, you got to finish your lap when you're on one. But if Righty was actually the only one that finished his lap after the timer started, so if he had have spun out, you don't wish the worst for drivers, but if he had a spun out like the other guys did, it might have been alright to start. So just creating the lobby now. So bear with us. Commercial break. We might actually get maybe no, don't worry about that.
Well, we were thinking of getting somebody in, but how do I donate, Mrs. Crikey says, and where is the Fortnite game play? We might do that maybe once the season finishes. There's a couple of weeks gap, Mrs. Crikey, between this race and the next race and the final race at Bathurst. I'm pretty sure you can donate down the bottom there of the chat, underneath Say Something, and where it says 200 characters, the limit being 200 characters for this for the chat, of course. There's an emoji there and a little dollar sign, a little square dollar sign. If you'd be kind enough,
see that, so
no, maybe it's.
Yeah.
I have been accused
maybe it's
of.
only for you. You can donate yourself.
Well, maybe I can donate to myself. But if anyone out there, all of our 8 or 10 viewers would be good enough to donate $323,462, I could pay off the mortgage and maybe give myself Friday off. Speaking of having Friday off, I will be definitely having next Friday off because it's my birthday, and of course coinciding with my birthday on March 23rd, the start of the new F1 season at Albert Park. Also, too, I'll be down there as you will too be, Jace, and
should be good.
Yep, that's the final frontier, human contact, meeting in real life. It's a lot different from meeting on the party chat. What we might do, I might just take a short commercial break in